Hi. Uh, in this video, I am going to take a small topic related to the practical hematology. It's the blood indices. Why do we need this particular topic, or why do we need this investigation? It is to classify the anemias. Normally anemia is defined as the decrease in the oxygen carrying capacity of blood, and that's because of the decreased hemoglobin or decreased RBC count or both. But then there are numerous causes that lead to anemia, and therefore we have to classify anemia based on the morphology of RBCs and the level of hemoglobin in those RBCs. So, to make us understand what could be the reason behind it, we have these blood indices that give us the morphological classification of anemias. So, first things first, what do we need beforehand? Before we start calculating the blood indices, we will need the hemoglobin estimation of the person. We will need the RBC count, and then we also perform the packed cell volume or hematocrit. The packed cell volume is the volume of the packed cells separated from the plasma has been separated, and the volume of those packed cells in a unit quantity of blood. So, blood is collected in the Vintrope's tube, and the sample of blood is put in the centrifuge. Centrifuge is then kept at 3000 revolutions per minute for 30 minutes. What you see is that the cells are separated and packed near the bottom half of the Vintrope's tube. So, that's the packed cell volume of the RBCs. Well, there are other layers as well. There is a buffy coat layer that's of the WBCs in that sample of blood, and then a dark layer of hemolysis above that, and then there is plasma. So, that's the packed cell volume. The normal value is about 38 to 45%. What I am trying to say is, in any unit quantity of blood, about 38 to 45% will that be the volume of the red cells, and 55% will be plasma. So, that's the packed cell volume. Now, I may just add here that after this procedure is done, and whatever value you get for the packed cell volume, we generally take 96% of that value. So, true hematocrit will be 0.96 into the packed cell volume that we get. Why is it that we are not taking the entire reading that we get? Is because howsoever we try, howsoever with the ideal conditions, the cells and the plasma are not completely separated. It means some amount of plasma is still entrapped among these cells and between the cells, and therefore the value that we are obtaining is slightly higher because plasma is entrapped. So, we are getting a slightly higher value of the packed cell volume, and therefore what we take is only 96% of this value that we obtained after the procedure. So, that's the packed cell volume or hematocrit. Obviously, if the RBC count has reduced in the anemia, then the packed cell volume, the PCV, also will be less than 38%. So, that is an indicator of a reduced RBC count. Now, let us see the other blood indices. After the packed cell volume, we will calculate mean corpuscular volume. Mean corpuscular volume means, on an average, what is the volume of one single RBC? That's called as mean corpuscular volume. How is it calculated? Well, easy. Take a unit quantity of blood, the blood sample, and perform the RBC count and perform the packed cell volume. So, if these many RBCs have this much volume, then one RBC will have how much volume on an average, and therefore mean corpuscular volume is calculated as packed cell volume upon RBC count. I repeat once again, if so many RBCs have this much volume, then one RBC will have how much volume, and therefore it's calculated, mean corpuscular volume is calculated as PCV upon RBC count. Well, the normal value is 78 to 94 cubic microns, 93 or 94 cubic microns. That's the on an average volume of one single RBC. Now, if it is less than 78 cubic microns, means RBC size is small than the normal size, we will call it as microcytic anemia. RBC size is less than normal, or RBC volume is less than normal. It would be a microcyte, small sized RBC. This generally happens from iron deficiency. So, iron deficiency anemia would generally present as microcytic anemia. And if it is more than 94 cubic microns, if the RBC size or RBC volume is beyond its normal range, higher value, then it's a macrocytic anemia. Macrocytic anemia, large cell size of the RBC. Now, this obviously happens with another type of anemia which is called as, this is how it will appear morphologically. You will call it macrocytic anemia. The RBCs are appearing as macrocytes, and the etiologically speaking, it would be megaloblastic anemia. The reason that the RBCs are macrocytes, large sized, is the megaloblastic anemia resulting from vitamin B12 or folic acid deficiency. As you all are aware, vitamin B12 and folic acid are needed for the nuclear maturation in the RBC precursors. So, if there is a deficiency of either of them, there would not be DNA synthesis properly, and nuclear maturation does not happen. So, cell division slows down and cells remain large and immature. That's megaloblasts. So, that's a megaloblastic anemia, morphologically presenting as macrocytes. That's the importance of mean corpuscular volume. The next blood index is mean corpuscular hemoglobin. Look, as I said, anemia can be either because of reduced RBC count or reduced hemoglobin, or both. If there is a bone marrow depression, RBCs are not being produced. If there is hemolysis, RBCs are getting destroyed faster, so that will be reduced RBC count. If there is iron deficiency, then hemoglobin is not forming, so there will be a less hemoglobin, and the reason for anemia would be obvious. So, let us see mean corpuscular hemoglobin. On an average, how much is the amount of hemoglobin in one single RBC? It's called as mean corpuscular hemoglobin. And how do you calculate it? It's hemoglobin upon the RBC count. Very obvious. You take a sample of blood, perform the RBC count, perform the hemoglobin estimation, and then if these many RBCs have this much hemoglobin, then on an average one RBC will have how much hemoglobin? That's mean corpuscular hemoglobin. In one red blood corpuscle, how much hemoglobin on an average is present. So hemoglobin upon RBC count. The normal value for mean corpuscular hemoglobin is 28 to 32 picograms. Micrograms are the picograms or picograms. So that's the normal value for mean corpuscular hemoglobin on an average hemoglobin present in one single RBC. If it is less than 28, of course, then the anemia is primarily because of the reduced hemoglobin amount in the blood. So in the RBCs, of course. So that's the importance of knowing mean corpuscular hemoglobin. We want to know whether the anemia is primarily because of a reduced RBCs number or reduced hemoglobin estimation, hemoglobin level. The third one, and I always see there is a confusion in the minds of students between the second and the third one. The third one is mean corpuscular hemoglobin concentration. Very often the students end up asking me this question: what is the difference between mean corpuscular hemoglobin and mean corpuscular hemoglobin concentration? Let me explain. Mean corpuscular hemoglobin concentration is, on an average, how much volume of an RBC is saturated with hemoglobin. You know, hemoglobin is inside the RBCs. That hemoglobin is saturating how much volume of an RBC? That's called as mean corpuscular hemoglobin concentration. Let me explain this further. The normal value is about 32 to 38%. What does it mean? On an average, a single RBC is saturated up to 38%. I mean 38% of its volume is saturated with hemoglobin. Let me just draw it for the sake of explanation. Let's say a single RBC and 38% of its volume is saturated with hemoglobin, just for the diagrammatic representation. Now, what is the difference between mean corpuscular hemoglobin and mean corpuscular hemoglobin concentration? Let me explain this with an example. In a patient, his mean corpuscular hemoglobin was found to be normal, but MCHC was reduced. What will be your inference? Mean corpuscular hemoglobin was found to be normal, but MCHC was reduced. What will be what will you draw as inference from this? Look, it's very obvious. If the mean corpuscular hemoglobin is normal, that means normal amount of hemoglobin, absolute amount of hemoglobin present inside one RBC is normal, within normal range. But MCHC is reduced means that hemoglobin is now saturating lesser volume of RBC. Let's say MCHC has become only 20%. Means now, although absolute amount of hemoglobin is normal, but that hemoglobin is saturating a lesser volume of RBC. What will be your inference? That means RBC volume itself has increased. Well, this is just diagrammatic representation. same amount of absolute hemoglobin, if it were to fill in a larger RBC, what will happen? That RBC will be less saturated with that much hemoglobin because RBC size has increased. So remember this, that if the MCH is normal but MCHC has reduced, that means RBC size has increased. So it would be a megaloblastic anemia. And the last one, which is barely used these days, is color index. Color index is a ratio. It's the ratio of percent of hemoglobin to percent of RBC count. What do we mean by percent of RBC and percent of hemoglobin? Look, 14.5 grams percent by Sally's method, 14.5 grams percent is taken to be 100% hemoglobin. So if someone has 11 grams percent or 12 grams percent, it will be, we will say the person has 66% or 70% hemoglobin. That's the meaning of percent of hemoglobin. So we will first see the hemoglobin estimation and RBC count in a patient, and then we will see or calculate how much is in terms of percentage that hemoglobin and that RBC count is. Well, RBC count 5 millions per cubic millimeter is taken as 100% RBC count. So if a person's RBC count is 80%, I beg your pardon, it's 4 millions per cubic millimeter, we call it 80%. Okay, 5 millions per cubic millimeter is taken as 100% RBC count. That's the standard, that's the reference level. So if the person's RBC count is 4 millions per cubic millimeter, we will say the person has 80% the RBC count. So that is how we decide upon the percentage of hemoglobin and percentage of the RBC count, and then their ratio is called as color index. So suppose normal individual has got a 14.5 grams of hemoglobin. 14.5 grams percent of hemoglobin is 100%, and the person has 5 millions per cubic millimeter of RBC count. That will also be 100%. The color index will turn out to be 1. Okay, that's how we calculate this ratio. Normal range is 0.8 to 1. That's the normal range. If this value falls below 0.8, 0.8, then that means the numerator, that's the hemoglobin percent, is dramatically less in the individual as compared to the RBC count. So RBC count is okay, but hemoglobin level is less, and therefore color index has fallen. So anemia is basically due to the deficiency of hemoglobin rather than the less of production of RBCs or more destruction of RBCs. So we term it as hypochromic anemia. You know, chromos is color, so it will be a hypochromic anemia. Basically, you know, the RBCs, their color is because of the hemoglobin and the iron inside that hemoglobin, and therefore hypochromic anemia generally results from iron deficiency anemias. So these are some of the blood indices which we use for our diagnosis of certain anemias.